Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving. Sam here. You're listening to the Unfiltered Podcast. Jay and I decided to put this one out on Thanksgiving, thinking that maybe you need a little something to listen to while you're making your pies or getting your stuffing ready, or whatever else you're cooking for this Thanksgiving. Hope you're being safe. Hope that you're able to Zoom call with those loved ones from afar. This week we had Steve and Leslie Kaczeus on. They are the co-founders, co-owners of Bootstrap Brewing. They've been in the game for a little while, seen tremendous success in 2020, due in part to their awesome cans and their fantastic distribution plan. But we'll let those two explain their story because it's a good one. So again, enjoy your Thanksgiving break. As always, support those local breweries to make this show possible. Be well. Thanks always for the support. Enjoy the show. Jay Schrader and I are honored today to be joined by Steve and Leslie Kaczeus, who are the founders and the owners of Bootstrap Brewing. I would assume that anybody in Colorado would know who the hell Bootstrap is. But, I mean, you guys have an amazing story. We looked at the data and what you've done in 2020, but I've been drinking your beer for many, many years. Jay is not an IPA drinker, so he probably has not come across the Insane Rush. I know, he likes the lawn mowing beers, if you will. But to me, an IPA is lawn mowing. If you're hardcore enough. But with that said, can you two, let's actually just welcome to the show, you two. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, we're excited to be here.
Okay, first off, Jay, before you jump in and ask a question, Jay Schrader, how in the hell do you two shirk the idea of business and family don't mix? And how have you been so successful of doing that? Because you're a couple. You've made this work, and we don't ask this question enough of the folks who join this as friends or as partners. And so, how walk us through what you have done over the last, almost 10 years to make this happen.
This is our fourth business working together. The first one owning it, but we were also in a very small startup before this. So, he stays on the technical side and I stay on the sales and marketing side, and we make the big decisions together.
We try not to cross each other's paths, but
try is the key word.
Yeah, but you're right. We started out in the high-tech industry, and we met in the high-tech industry, and we worked together in a couple of startups. And I don't know, I was working for a company that got bought out by another company 10 years ago, or maybe 12 years ago. And we always talked about having our own business. We just didn't know what that business was supposed to be. And so we always knew we wanted to work together. I mean, we're a pretty fun couple. We're drunk most of the time. So I think that's how we get along.
That's how I ended up married. So
I think we all were in that spot.
All right. So we all get it.
Yeah.
No, we just
no
really,
secrets here.
We really enjoy each other. We're great friends. We have similar vision, and it does get tough though. I mean, it's not easy. Like today was a tough day. We're both
everybody's on vacation, and we're short-staffed, and we're just
and this COVID thing hits, and all of a sudden we can't have anybody drinking in our tap room, and we're all out on the patio, and so we're managing a lot of different things, but managing chaos is kind of in our wheelhouse. We know how to do it, and somehow we attract. I don't know.
No.
Don't we look the same? We're twinning. Look at this.
You guys, the chemistry is there. It's pretty obvious, and I appreciate it. I know Jay does too, being guys that have been married for many, many years with several kids, and just to be able to go through the trials and tribulations of not just COVID, but of life together is kind of, if you can't find that person that you can do that with, you don't end up together very long, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right. You got it.
My wife's not part of the podcast for a reason. Let's just put it that way.
She's upstairs raising the kids, right?
She's actually asked specifically if she could vacuum while I did this, so that she didn't have to listen to me. So,
okay.
I guess it's a win. I guess it's a win-win. So,
Love it.
So how'd you guys meet? Let's go back. Let's go back in time. Like you
tech,
said
baby. They were working in tech.
I know, but where? Let's just tell that story.
It was Miniscribe out in Longmont years ago. Did I end up being your boss? I did, huh?
For a short amount of time. We did a little
I know, right?
reorganization.
No.
Wouldn't
I shouldn't
pass
have
in
said that.
2020.
Yeah, he went there already.
Yes.
She's just pissed off that I didn't give her. No, wait.
Whoa! You can't.
A raise.
A raise.
Raise.
Take it for what it is. Whatever.
Okay. So you guys met
we
there.
Yeah. And we ended up out in California for work. I think the economic condition, I got laid off. I couldn't get a job. He got an offer out in California. So we were out there for a while. And then we moved back home. I grew up in Erie. And
I grew up in Boulder, went to Fairview University, Colorado. She was Erie High. Go Tigers.
So we got to move back home back in 2004.
Yep.
And
here we are.
Local kids done good. I like it.
That's it. There you go. Yeah. And you know what's fun about having high school reunions out here is you get to bring free beer to the reunions.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what high school was like. You guys are the coolest people at the party now, right?
That's right. It's funny. It's hilarious, but no, it's good. It's good. It's a fun ride so far.
So you grew up here, but I guess, so does that mean that, okay, you had a real job, technically. Obviously, you both have real jobs now because you're running a brewery, you're running a business, like a very successful business. But how do you go from doing your particular jobs, being boss, and not being boss, or being, coming together and kind of, getting married, to deciding to do what you do now, which is Bootstrap?
Well, he's been homebrewing for a lot of years. There was a year that, Christmas was coming, and it was like, what do you get somebody that has everything they want? And so I found a hydroponics store. They didn't used to have homebrew stores back then. Found a hydroponics store, bought him, a 5-gallon pail and in this plant shop, and got him his first homebrew kit for Christmas. And he was all excited. He did one batch of malt extract and said, I'm never doing that again. Went out and bought everything he needed to do full grain.
Yep.
And the birthday comes around, and I bought him a subscription to Beer of the Month Club, where we get a surprise, two surprise 6-packs from whatever brewery they decided to send. And so he's been home brewing, and over the years, like Steve said earlier, we're always talking about what is something that we're both passionate about that we can do together as a business. And we were all over the place, from bed and breakfast to I love to go horseback riding. So it was like, oh, can I do horseback riding? And he can give tennis lessons, and we can cook breakfast and make beer for people. And then at one point we were looking at coffee shops, and Steve was going to all these franchise workshops and seminars, and coming home and saying, we should buy hair cutting places. And I told him, if everybody calls in sick, are you cutting the hair?
Obviously not. I mean, look, I can see half of it back there. So
yeah. So it really came down to, the journey was, what are we passionate about? That's what it really came down to, because we were all over the map, like she said. Interested in this, interested in that. All this time I'm home brewing. My background is engineering. It's a creative outlet. And I'm making some fun beers. I'm making some pretty good beers. And it just came down to the passion. We were always in a brewery drinking beer going, what do we want to do in a brew pub? And we were always drinking beer, and all of a sudden it just kind of hit us, and we're like, would we ever consider opening up a brewery? And that started the journey. That's when we met Dale at Oscar Blues, Eric Wallace at Left Hand, the Odells. We had opportunities to talk to everybody, and everybody was really helpful. And you know, Frank, and how the, you know, telling us what it takes to do this. And they basically told us that when they started, there was a lot of forgiveness in the types of beers that they were bringing to the table. And maybe they weren't that consistent, but people didn't know. And they're like, hey, this is different. This is cool. This is really good beer, stouts and pilsners and this and that. And they said, but if you get in, we've already set that bar, and you can't come in any lower than that. Your quality, your consistency, everything has to be up here. And so we said, yeah, we can do this. Let's go for it.
Yeah, we started having these blind tastings in our basement with our friends. And, you know, if Steve had made an IPA, I'd go out and I'd buy 10 of the best-selling IPAs, and I'd line them all up, and I made little judging sheets for everybody. And you know, we got to the point where sometimes he was coming out number one, and we're like, okay, save that recipe. Now let's go work on the amber. Let's work on, you know, a pilsner.
And I don't think that's unique to a lot of breweries. I think there's a lot of guys that brought their friends to their house, brought them into the basement. Everybody drank the beer, and they said, oh my God, you make the best beer. You should start a brewery. But we put a lot of work and understanding behind it to really go, do we really want to do this?
Well, I think we can just say we're lucky you didn't end up starting a Subway franchise or
exactly. Thank God.
Fucking great. You're the Longmont Great Clips guy. I mean, we are so grateful that that is not what the result was.
Oh my God. But what if it was Subway and Great Clips? You know, a combo. You know?
No, there's just too much.
You could watch him make the sandwich while you're getting your hair cut, because you're gonna get a hair in the sandwich anyway. It might as well be your own, right? You might be onto something. The next big thing. The next big thing, Steve. Well, I gotta ask. I mean, we talk to a lot of people, and they usually have a lot of smart things to say, and they usually have a lot of names that they can mention, or a lot of people that helped them along the way. But I mean, you basically named 2 or 3 of the biggest people in Northern Colorado brewing as being there at the beginning, and basically telling you up front, hey, we already set the bar, go for it. Was that not a little bit intimidating?
No,
not at all. I mean,
I love it.
No, I mean, we were like, yeah, we can do this. And we respect what you guys did, you know, for us to be able to get out there and do this with you. They were basically saying, just don't be dicks and make shitty beer, because you're going to just screw things up for everybody else. And that mantra just stayed with us. And we're like, we can make really good beer. And you know what? When we opened our brewery, we have some of the top brewers in the world within a 10-mile radius of us, and they would come to the brewery. And the last thing I wanted was for somebody to go, man, this is crappy beer. What are you doing? And so that was, you know, a motivation, but we also knew that we made good beer. Coming from the high-tech industry or just any other corporate America business, we learned about quality. We learned about the customer and meeting the customer's needs, and just, you know, really being proud of what we're putting out there. And it's got to be stuff that we want to drink.
And I need you to drink 3 of them.
She's got to be able to drink 3.
Want to drink 3 of them.
Yeah.
Was that a rule? Was that like?
That's my rule.
Not only did Dale give you the bar, but then Leslie said, all right, there's got to be 3 beers on the menu at any given moment that I don't care about. I can drink them.
No. It's I want to reorder it 3 times.
She wants to drink 3 in a row of that beer.
I gotcha. All right. That's a good test.
There's some that I'll love 1 inch, 2 inch into the glass, and then I'll go, I don't think I can order another one of those. And so that's been our mantra is we want to make beers that we want to drink 3 of them back to back.
I think our palates are, I don't know, covers probably 95% of the people. And if we enjoy it and we love it, we feel like other people will enjoy it too.
When you think of the success of Colorado breweries during 2020 and who has been able to make it, do you think that approach, Leslie, has allowed a Bootstrap, a Denver Beer Co., an Odell to really kind of make it through, in the sense that they're not selling a lot of double IPAs? There isn't a shitload of that beer that just you can have one of and just put away, because you got to be able to buy it in cans. You got to be able to buy a lot of it. How successful, or how much of your success has come from that approach in your mind as a salesperson, as a marketing person?
Definitely wholesale is paramount. I mean, now nobody can go inside and order a beer from a restaurant or a tap room. And so if you don't have strong wholesale, you're getting really creative right now about, releasing special seasonal things
But to tag on to that, I think that initial, you've got to be able to drink 3 of these. And I think it makes our beers very drinkable, and it covers a lot of the folks who have different palates, from light beers to dark beers to high hops or whatever. And so I think the way she approached it is it kind of puts us there where we're with the guys you mentioned, that it's very drinkable beers, and that's what's, I think, making us successful.
Yeah, and we get repurchases.
A lot of sell-throughs.
Like somebody will try it for the first time and go, wow, I like this, I'm going to buy it again.
Yeah, there's a lot of brand loyalty out there, and a lot of folks that we meet, and they say, my fridge is stocked with Insane Rush or Lush Puppy or whatever. And it's like, wow, that's really cool. I never thought we'd be here. We started as this really small brewery, and very cool.
1,200 square feet.
Yeah, a little 3-barrel system.
and you guys have been through a couple of spaces, is that right? I truly, as Sam pointed out, I've never, I don't think I've ever had one of your beers because it hasn't been on my radar, which is always disappointing when I can't make it up north and try it in person. But I do know a little bit of the trajectory of the real estate. You guys have been in and out of a couple of places, right? So can you walk us through, you started in 1,200 square feet on a fairly small system. I mean, what did that progression look like?
Yeah, so it was 2012 that we opened, right? June 21st or something like that. It's always got to be on the, what is that? The solar equinox? Solstice.
Yeah, so our birthday changes from year to year. It's either the 20th or the 21st.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
Clearly, Steve is not the stars guy.
That's okay. I didn't sign up for that. But yeah, we started small. I don't know. I was always, what if I brew the beer and nobody comes? So let's just start small. And we started in a small space in this building that's a pole barn, downtown Niwot. It's across the street from where we live. And it was perfect. We wanted to be the neighborhood brewery. And as soon as we started putting out the beer, we just had a great relationship with the neighborhood, the community. Word started getting out. The first keg that ever went out was a bung keg that ended up at Haystack Golf Course. And
yeah, opening day, we got our first order. I'm like, we don't have tap handles.
Yeah,
we don't have keg.
We don't have a real keg.
We don't even have a real keg. And they were like, we don't care, just bring it over.
Are you serious?
Come on, man.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so it just kind of grew from there. I mean, I think the first year we did 250, 300 barrels, it was about 6-7 months. And then it just kind of grew from there. I was always happy having that tap room, and Leslie's vision was always, no, we got to get the beer out there. We started getting kegs, and then we did bombers, and then we started doing some cans. We started with Insane Rush because that was the one that everybody was gravitating to. We started with mobile canning. They would bring their machine over, can off of our bright tanks, and it just grew from there. All of a sudden, we had a distributor, and now we can't brew in that place. So started in a corner of that building, took over another side of the building after people moved out, and then took another side of the building when that guy moved out, and that's 3,000 square feet.
Wow.
And I shoved a 15-barrel brew house in there, sold the 3-barrel to Ska. They did a bunch of sours on that little bad boy. Now we've got a 15-barrel, sign up a couple more distributors, and we're like, holy crap, now what?
We had to custom order 50-barrel fermenters.
Just to fit.
One foot shorter than spec so that we could clear the beam in the middle of this pole barn. I mean, we were scraping the ceiling with this thing.
Oh my gosh.
So wait, what year was this? Hold on. What year, like?
2015.
And at what point?
We got the 15-barrel and got 50-barrel fermenters.
When did you go, like what month of that year or the year before did you go, holy shit, this isn't just we're not just running the neighborhood pub. This is much bigger. Like, tell us about that conversation between you two as business owners and as a married couple.
Well, it was when we signed on with Coors Distributing that we realized, okay, we're going to the next level, because we were self-distributing. And so we had one van and one employee. And when that employee called in sick, Steve and I dropped everything we were doing and we went and delivered beer. But
what were we thinking?
When we partnered up with Coors, because our growth was limited by what we could physically do with one van and one employee. Mm-hmm. And so we had maybe 2 or 3 accounts in Denver. We just couldn't get there.
It started growing. Our backyard here in Boulder, Longmont, that was easy deal. Then it started Fort Collins, started in Denver.
And
now
we'd drive up
Colorado
to Evergreen
Springs.
and Estes Park on Sundays and deliver beer. And I mean, it was just, and we tell the customers we can only get up there once a month. And so they'd order a month's worth. We had other liquor store owners. We were so grateful. They would say, we'll come get it.
Yeah, they would drive down and pick up like 10 cases.
From Arvada, it was Mile High Wine Cellars. Mark would come down in his car and he'd load up beer in his car. And then finally, he was like, okay, we'll bring it to you. But then we were just struggling with how do we do that better?
Yeah.
Was it one of those things where you always thought you made good beer and it was the consumer that said, oh, your beer isn't just good beer, it's great beer? Or was it you guys always knew you made this beer that was worthy of distribution beyond the front range, having to get a distributor, all of that? Like, be as candid as you can in your answer.
Oh, I believe so, yes.
Which one? He asked 2 questions in one. Which one? Yes.
I knew that Steve was making fantastic beer, and we have the best can designs with Moxie.
Yeah,
and so when we partnered with them, we said, you need to make a package that people will want to pick it up and say, what is this? I want to try it. Because I knew once somebody tried the beer, they would reorder it. So, and they were funny. They were like, well, we'll make the best packaging. You need to make the best product. And, we went back and forth with them. We said, not a problem. Let's do this.
You guys don't seem like you're really concerned with challenges. I mean, Steve said he wasn't intimidated by the bar set by your local area breweries and brewers that you knew. But then, I mean, now you've got a marketing or a design company throwing down and saying, look, we're going to give you the sexiest fucking can label on the market, but the beer better not be lousy. I mean, I don't even understand how you respond to something like that. Like, hey, we came to you, we're paying you. What the fuck is that? That would be my first instinct. But
oh no, we
you
were
guys are just like
laughing about it. But you know, the best part was when we decided that we were going to go out to market with one SKU.
That was dumb.
It was not.
Like, how are we going to be successful?
It was like,
with one?
what are we going to do? And I said, well, the Brewers Association says IPA is the #1 style. We're going for the #1 style, and we just went for it.
Yeah,
I mean,
if
either
we were
going to make it or we're not.
Yeah. So for us being that small and tying in with a great graphics company, marketing company like Moxie Sozo and coming up with this stuff, all of a sudden people were talking about us and they're like, we got to drink this. And they loved the beer. And so it just grew from there. And it was all word of mouth. We had no funds. We were bootstrapping it. There was no money to do any marketing. Yes.
So not just a clever name.
No, bootstrapping is who we are.
That was our budget when we started.
We thought we had this big budget, but banks and investors weren't even looking at us. They're like, what do you know about brewing? Who are you? Yeah, I'm sure you're passionate, this, that, and the other. And we said, you know what? If we're going to do this, nobody believes in us. We've got to bankroll it. We've got to put our life savings in. We're like, well, what do we call this thing? And Leslie said, you know, this is such a bootstrap operation, because we went from this big budget to this little budget. And we looked at each other and we said, yes, we're bootstrapping this. Does anybody have the name? And sure enough, they didn't. It represents who we are and how we started this business. And yeah, man, it's incredible where we're at right now. And it's, you know, she's got a lot to do with it, with the branding, the loyal stuff, the marketing, cleaning the bathrooms, all of that's freaking important, you know, and here we are.
Nice little benefit of COVID is you don't have to worry about the janitorial duties nearly as much when the brewery tap room is shut down. But when you're open to customers, you're cleaning like crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nobody's shit.
Sam probably has something semi-intelligent to say here. Sorry about that.
No, I want to talk about. I mean, out of respect for your time, you two, because I mean, obviously, if we were there,
no, we got time. We got beer.
Let's talk about this year. Let's talk about 2020, because again, we kind of insinuated this at the beginning of it, or we kind of alluded to it. You have seen crazy growth since you began, but this year has been wild.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit. What is it? Is it the cans? Is it distribution? Like, what is it? You guys you're killing it for the most part.
You know what's crazy is we released 2 products 2 weeks before the shutdown in the spring.
Yeah.
That's an interesting time to release a new product, is when consumers aren't browsing in shops and
right. They're buying what they know.
Distributor reps weren't, they were spending the least amount of time getting in and out of
the liquor stores and stuff.
So, yeah. So both of our mix packs, we, like I said, started shipping them in the middle of March, and then everything shut down on the 17th, I think. So it wasn't until we come back into June that we're really getting that placed on shelves.
Yeah. And we've got great distributors. We set up some strategies, some goals for this year. And regardless of what happened with COVID, I mean, we got killed in, what was it, from mid-March to April, because our tap room was closed for 11 weeks, and just like everybody else.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden we all started hoarding. We all started buying. We weren't going to tap
rooms. Steve took all the toilet paper, all of it.
You had to.
Critical for
toilet paper. Critical. Insane rush.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Yeah. How many IPA? I mean, I drink plenty of IPAs. You could shit through a screen door.
Yeah. No, it's just, I think people were looking for value. People were supporting breweries. They definitely were supporting us. I mean, I don't know, we give back to the community like everybody else does. And I don't know, it just kind of exploded. And we just have great distributors and a great marketing plan out there. And I don't know.
It's got to be those cans though, right? Like part of it is those cans.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And getting into grocery stores help. But I got to tell you, our local independent liquor stores, man, they just crushed it for us this year. And they were there from the beginning, and they really helped us. But it's been across the board, and for sure.
Were you shocked? Were you surprised by being not just being able to survive this, but by being able to kind of thrive during this? I mean, you're one of very few. There's a handful of folks. There's a Denver Beer Co. There's an Hotel, right, with their 12-pack of IPA that's just can't stay on shelves. I mean, you guys, what do you tell each other at night when you're going to bed? Like, are you grateful? Are you like, what's the conversation you're having as a couple?
Pretty much, why can't we pay ourselves yet? Why are we still broke?
Why are we still bootstrapping it?
Yeah.
No, I mean, when you look at it, it's kind of a two-edged sword. Yeah, we're growing, but we're constantly reinvesting. I now need another fermenter. I need this. I need that. And it's just like when
the front loading of inventory to every time we release a new product, just buying all of those cans. I mean, when we just put out our Sparkalicious Party Pack,
the hard seltzer.
That's 3 cans, and they're 250,000 cans
per truckload,
batch. And and then there's the 12-pack box that we had to buy so many of.
So really gotta love your business. You gotta really, if you're not passionate about it, all these little bumps in the road are gonna kill you, and you're just gonna, at some point, you get really tired. But if you're passionate and you're like, we can do this, let's survive it. We've got people out there who are supporting us. All the breweries are helping each other out. This is just another moment in time where we all get together. We can all survive this. We move through it. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and then we're all going to come out of it, and we're going to celebrate. But it's the passion that's got to keep you going.
How much of this is where you are? I mean, Jay and I talked to enough folks in Denver where it's kind of uber competitive, even in South Denver, even Colorado Springs. You brought this up several minutes ago. You were kind of automatically brought into that community of kind of Longmont, Boulder, Erie. How much of that played a part in your success, or at least your comfortability in this environment?
Well, I think when we opened, Upslope had opened a few years before us, but there really wasn't anybody else. And so when we opened in 2012, and there's a handful of small brewers that we're friends with, the class of 2012. But there was a big gap. It was like, you had all your pre-existing breweries, and then Upslope opened, and there really wasn't anything until us. So we were able to get, those were back in the days when you were able to go to everybody's grand opening and everybody's anniversary party. And then you fast forward a few years, and it just got to the point where, wow, there's one opening every day. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it just felt like.
Felt like it.
I want to add on to that, because saying the class of 2012, right? Those are great friends of ours. So like Big Choice and Crystal Springs and Caution Brewing, Echo, and all that. City Star, all of us had different business models. Some wanted to be just the neighborhood breweries. Some wanted to do the barrel aging and whatnot. Somebody else wanted to be a brew pub. And we always had a bigger picture. In fact, Odd 13 was in the 2012 year. So Odd 13 and us are kind of doing the same model, where it's, let's get it out there, cans, liquor stores, grocery stores, all that stuff. But everybody had a different model, and everybody succeeded or maybe didn't make it based on their models. And so, I don't know. I'm not sure where I was going with that, but I was pretty excited about it.
That's okay.
At the moment. Go Red Sox.
I was going to say, go Red Sox. Based on that diatribe, you could totally run this show for us and take over for me and Sam.
For sure.
Because we clearly have no direction when we get started, and by the end we're like, what the fuck was that?
Wait till we drink Havoc.
Okay.
Meatloaf's in the oven upstairs. I can just keep going.
We'll be over.
No, I would like to ask. I mean, you alluded to being in the class of 2012, and we don't know every brewery, but a lot of the breweries you mentioned outside of Odd 13, frankly, I don't either recognize or can admit that I think that they're gone already. So, how important is it to making it to that? We talked about reunions earlier, right? You guys are coming up on a 10-year reunion here pretty quick. How important is that to you guys? And more importantly, how important are the recent investments and the additions to the brewery, your sales strategy, your new investor? How critical is that to you guys making it for another 2 years, another 20 years beyond that?
Super important.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a side effect of COVID? Was that part of the plan? Or did you guys?
No, I mean, I think so. Everything we've done up into this year has been super organic. I mean, it's like whenever Steve and I had a chance to go do a hand sale because someone asked us to do it, we'd be out there. We were at festivals whenever we could be, but we were never doing anything proactively.
Damn it. I know. What kind of business model is that?
We haven't mastered the ability to be everywhere at the same time.
Yeah.
You guys are definitely from tech startup, I can tell.
It's killing us, man. No.
But yeah, now we've got, so Dale came on board.
Yeah.
He's brought all of his wisdom and his experience, and he's just got wonderful ideas, thinks out of the box. He introduced us to Jeff, who's our new sales director. We've got now Taylor on board, our first outside sales rep. And I finally have help.
It was always us.
I used to joke with Steve, I'm like, you get everything. You get all the stainless steel. You get all the employees. You get all of the inventory. You get everything. Look at him. Look at him showboating. And
doing the dab.
I finally this year got help, and I'm so excited. We have such an amazing team in place.
Yeah, like we were saying, it was really Leslie and I going out to the festivals, doing the hand sales, doing the pint nights, just doing everything, which everybody appreciated. I mean, when do you see a husband and wife, owner and brewer at the hand sales and stuff? Usually it's a sales rep, and that's fine. Our sales reps are awesome. They're freaking awesome.
And we still show up.
And we show up.
Now we're able to
but
do
now
it more.
Now we've got kind of a little army of little mini me's that can go out there and represent, the right way. But, kind of going back, so 2020 is a great growth year for us. And we've known Dale for a number of years. Our boys played baseball together and all this stuff. And he's just been a great friend, a great mentor. And we joked about, one day you should partner with us. You should help us. And we're fun. And you're fun. And all this stuff. And you know what? It finally happened this year. And he really... like Leslie said, he's just got this amazing way of how he thinks, just out of left field, incredible ideas. We just kind of look at him and go, what the fuck? Where did that come from? And we'll kind of hash it all out. And some of it doesn't make sense, and he gets it. But he throws a lot of stuff out there, and he's a great guy to brainstorm with. And so
is he cleaning bathrooms, Leslie?
No, not yet.
Dale's not cleaning bathrooms yet?
No.
Not under his advisory role. I had my.
I had to ask.
He's got a gun.
I want to see how invested he really is.
My wedding rehearsal dinner was at the original Oscar Blues. So literally 9 years ago. Actually, my wife, she watches the show. Yeah. So, yeah, it was fun. They were awesome. Dale was just fucking fantastic. Like, it was awesome. We got to, we got the whole downstairs, and it was a blast. But let me ask you guys, what happens now? Obviously, selling beer over the bar is extremely important for making money, but we can't do that for at least the foreseeable future. So what kind of conversations are you having with the sales team as we move into December and probably January? What's the kind of expectation, the strategy? What are the thoughts?
Well, we're still, like I said, we're still placing our hard seltzer out on the shelves. And, we had plans pre-COVID that we were going to spend the whole summer pouring it at festivals and doing tastings and hand sales. And, that's one of the great selling points of our seltzer. It's made with real fruit. And when people try it, they go, wow, this is so different than any seltzer I've ever had. And so we've really missed out on that opportunity. Yeah. So that's still something that we're trying to implement.
And grow, for sure.
Grow. And then we just announced our non-alcoholic IPA, our strapless.
Nice.
And so
I love that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, that's so good. That is so good.
If you haven't seen the can yet, it's so badass. It's a bunch of wild horses running, and there's one that's throwing a cowboy off. So, it was like wild, unbridled, strapless horses. But it's just delicious. It tastes like a real beer. Yep. So that just released. It's just starting to hit the shelves. And then we're also going to follow up early next year with our strapless gold version. And then we're looking at, do we start doing 12 packs, and do we start doing seasonals? And so we're not holding back.
Yeah, and we're trying to close also all of Colorado. So there's still a couple places that are open as far as getting all our beer everywhere through Colorado. So Durango and Steamboat, Winter Park, we're trying to close those markets. So there's constant opportunities. You can't stand still. You got to keep going. My dad always told me, he was an entrepreneur, and he always said, no matter the recession or what's happening with the market or whatever, you got to continue to invest. You got to keep coming out with new products, because when things do succeed and you do come out of the recession, you better have some new products out there, because the big boys are doing it. And so we just kind of follow that philosophy, but it's still stuff that we want to bring to the table that we enjoy.
And I personally want to hand distribute beer to Bora Bora. So
that's in the plans.
I mean, if you need podcast hosts to go with you, just let us know.
We'll carry luggage.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know if you knew, but this is an interview process right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the good news is we probably failed it then.
Why didn't
We're
you
used
go?
to that.
Let me ask you, just kind of walk back just a second.
Sure.
Why no 12 packs of that IPA? Like, why? Like, I explain to us as ignoramuses what goes into going from a 6-pack to a 12-pack. Like, what?
Well, we're talking about doing that next year.
Yeah.
But our first 12-pack was let me grab this. Was our mixed party pack. And so, woohoo! We wanted to do something completely different, and so we wanted to put 1 or 2 of everything we make in here. Okay. So we've got our 5 beers, but we've got 2 of our hard seltzers in here as well.
That's awesome.
True party pack.
True party pack. There's something for everybody in here, and what's super cool is we just won medals for every single one of our beers at USA Beer Ratings. In fact, the Insane Rush, this is so awesome. This one won gold for taste, but it also won for value and packaging. I love this competition because it's judged by industry people who work in liquor stores, distributors, restaurants, and you have to score high in those 3 categories to medal. But you pick this bad boy up and you can try every single thing.
But you're right too. I mean, ignoramus to ignoramus. Is that how you call it? Whatever.
I'm a college professor. He's a banker.
Eye to eye. Yeah, we'll just go with eye to eye.
Yeah.
No, we are talking about doing the 12-pack Insane Rush, and we're talking about a 12-pack Lush Puppy too. Our juicy IPA is selling really well too, and we just didn't go there yet. But now again, having Dale on board, having a director of sales on board, and guys that have been in the industry for a while and they get it, they're helping us get that to market. So
a lot of I see a lot of ties to the Canarchy brand. Do you guys have any specific plans to get on board with that, or are you guys trying to stay out of that
We've had discussions
cabin?
Yeah, with Canarchy. This is all just a Dale personal investment.
Okay, cool.
He just wants to see really, really cool people who are humble and who love each other be successful in this world.
Well,
he's making up for whatever bullshit happened at work today.
With that said, right? Because
I forgot to clean the bathroom.
Yes, exactly.
Somebody call Dale.
My kids are yelling at me right now. So, Leslie, Steve, the Kaczeus, I don't think Jay and I could thank you enough for joining the show. So, is there anything you want to plug? Because we're going to put this out probably tomorrow or Friday. And
why would you not put it out on Thursday, Sam?
Because actually, no. 2020 is a weird year. I'll probably just put it on 20. Like it's just a reason for people to drink anyway. So
crack a bootstrap and listen to the.
But just to let you know,
latest episode drop before the in-laws show up.
We're gonna do something big for December to drive traffic to Colorado breweries, ideally. So we're trying to figure that out. So if you got anything going on in December or at the end of the month, let us know. But if you want to announce something now, any big releases, this is your chance. You have the floor.
Oh, tell them about Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus, our Imperial Stout, 13.5%. It's been
in a can.
No, yeah, I wish. It can show up in a crowler if you come over. No, it'll be in champagne bottles, 750 milliliters, but it's been sitting in barrels for about 9 months now, and it's thick, it's syrupy. You know how you get a cognac glass or a brandy glass and you turn it sideways and you bring it back and it's just sticking to the side and syrupy? That's what this is, and it's delicious.
Yeah, so one's in a PX sherry
barrel. Yep, and another one in a Woodford Reserve rum barrel. It's just brilliant. So that'll be coming out in time for the first week of December for Christmas.
And we can get which place, which location?
In Longmont.
Okay. Yeah, we're only in Longmont.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
okay.
We're just going to be selling out of the tap room. Yeah, limited edition, that kind of stuff. And then we're doing what everybody else is doing to try to support and help our business. We're doing the online ordering. We're going to have strapless online that we can sell anywhere throughout the United States. We can ship that because it's non-alcoholic. So we're just trying to keep the tap room business, the to-go business, just rocking and rolling. But otherwise, man, just keep at it. Have fun.
Keep drinking Bootstrap beer, huh?
Please, yeah.
Okay, you
or start.
Yeah, or start for sure.
We're driving to your house actually. So.
I wish. No,
because the meatloaf. Yeah, they heard about the meatloaf.
God.
That's tonight.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes probably.
Cut out. So, Leslie, Steve, thank you two so much for joining Jay and I. And I mean, happy Thanksgiving to both of you. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our listeners. It's so awesome to see the success you've had, because it's well deserved, and
holy shit, you make good beer. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and stay safe and healthy, you guys.
Yes, you guys as well. All right, cheers.
You too. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
All right, bye guys. Take care.
See ya.
Cheers.
Bye.